The galaxy had rules. When a species was losing a war, it called for backup. Stronger fleets arrived. Older races stepped in. The weak survived by begging the powerful. The Carvel Dominion followed this rule. They were ancient, ruthless, fierce. They invaded a small, silent world on the edge of known space, Earth. At first, humans did not fight back. No massive fleets. No great weapons. Only silence. The Dominion commanders laughed. They believed humans were primitive, divided, weak. But human space traffic suddenly stopped. Satellites went dark. Signals vanished. The Dominion grew uneasy. So they did what all conquerors did when victory felt too slow. They summoned backup, not knowing that humanity was already preparing something far worse. The Carvel Dominion had conquered hundreds of worlds. They were old, powerful, and feared across the galaxy. Their fleets moved like storms, and their enemies usually surrendered before the first shot was fired. When their ships arrived near Earth, the Dominion commanders expected the same result. But Earth was silent. No surrender signal came. No desperate message. No attack. The Dominion took this silence as weakness. Their scanners showed millions of humans on the planet below. Cities covered the land. Satellites circled the world. Yet there were no visible defense fleets, no massive space stations, no signs of panic. To the Dominion, this meant only one thing. Humans were unprepared. The commanders gathered in their flagship, watching Earth on a glowing screen. They spoke with confidence and pride. Humans, they said, were divided creatures. They fought among themselves. Such species always fell quickly. Still, something felt strange. Human ships stopped leaving the planet. Long-range signals from Earth faded away one by one. Communication relays went dark. It was as if the planet was holding its breath. The Dominion ignored the warning signs. Victory was taking too long, and the commanders grew impatient. According to Galactic custom, when resistance lasted longer than expected, backup was called. Stronger fleets. Allied races. Overwhelming force. The order was given. Signals raced across space, calling Dominion allies to join the conquest of Earth. War fleets turned toward the system. The commanders smiled. No world had ever survived once backup arrived. Then Earth sent a message. It was not a threat. It was not a plea. The message was short and calm. You should leave now. The bridge of the flagship erupted in laughter. A weak species dared to warn them? The commanders saw it as fear hiding behind false confidence. They replied with silence and prepared their final assault. From the surface of Earth, nothing changed. No weapons fired. No ships launched. Just quiet. But far beyond the Dominion sensors, something stirred. Deep space stations that had slept for decades began to wake. Old human signals lit up across forgotten channels. Fleets that were never meant to be seen powered their engines. The Dominion did not notice. Their backup was on the way. Their victory felt certain. They believed they were the hunters. They did not yet understand that Earth was not silent because it was weak. It was silent because humanity was getting ready. The Dominion's backup arrived first. Massive war fleets dropped out of hyperspace around Earth's system. Thousands of ships filled the darkness, their weapons glowing with power. To the Dominion commanders, this was the final step. No world had ever survived such force. They prepared to attack. Then space changed. Human deep space sensors activated, sending quiet signals through the void. One by one, hidden points around the system began to glow. At first, the Dominion thought it was interference. Then the readings became clear. Something was arriving. Without warning, human ships emerged. They did not rush forward. They did not spread out in chaos. They appeared in perfect lines, calm and controlled, as if they had always been there. Their ships were different from any the Dominion had seen. Dark hulls. Clean shapes. No bright colors. No fear. The Dominion commanders tried to lock weapons. They failed. Human technology flooded the system. Communications jammed. Sensors blurred. Dominion fleets lost contact with each other. Confusion spread through the armada. A single human ship moved forward. It was smaller than the Dominion flagships, but it carried itself with quiet confidence. A transmission followed, clear and steady. This system is under human protection. The message echoed across every channel. The backup fleets hesitated. They had expected screaming, threats, or panic. Instead, they heard control. Then the human ship fired. There was no explosion. A wave of energy passed through the Dominion's front lines. Weapons shut down. Shields collapsed. Engines died. Entire battle groups drifted helplessly in space. No ships were destroyed. The message was clear. The Dominion realized too late that humanity was not fighting to survive. Humanity was demonstrating. Across the system, more human fleets appeared. Not hundreds, thousands. Each one moved with precision. Each one knew its place. Earth itself remained quiet, untouched by fear. The backup commanders argued. Some demanded retreat. Others demanded a full assault. Before a decision could be made, another human signal spread through the fleets. This is your final warning. Silence followed. The Dominion had called for backup to win a war. Instead, they had summoned witnesses. And as the human fleets surrounded them, the galaxy began to understand that humanity was not what anyone had expected. The battle never came. Dominion ships floated in space, powerless and silent. Their weapons were dark. Their engines were dead. Panic spread through the ranks, but no human ship fired again. Instead, human boarding craft moved forward. They docked with Dominion flagships without resistance. Human soldiers entered calmly, weapons ready but unfired. They did not shout. They did not rush. They moved with quiet control. The Dominion commanders were taken into custody. They expected torture. They expected execution. That was how the galaxy worked. But none of it happened. The commanders were brought before a human council aboard a massive command vessel. The humans did not celebrate. They did not insult their enemies. They simply asked questions. Why did the Dominion invade Earth? Why did they call for backup? As the answers came, the humans listened in silence. Then the humans spoke. They told the Dominion commanders a story the galaxy had never heard. Long ago, humanity was weak. They were divided. They fought wars among themselves and nearly destroyed their own world. When they finally reached the stars, they were not welcomed. Stronger species hunted them. Some enslaved human colonies. Others wiped out entire human settlements without reason. Humanity learned a hard lesson. Survival was not about strength alone. It was about preparation. Humanity did not rush to conquer the galaxy. They hid. They studied alien technology. They learned how other species fought, how they ruled, and how they betrayed the weak. They built fleets in secret. Stations in deep space. Weapons designed not to destroy but to control. The Dominion commanders listened, their confidence fading. Humanity continued. They explained that Earth's silence was not fear. It was discipline. Every human knew their role. When the invasion began, ancient defense plans activated across human space. Backup was not needed. Humanity was the backup. The commanders finally understood. Humanity was not peaceful because it was weak. Humanity was peaceful because it was ready. Outside the command chamber, Dominion fleets remained frozen in space, surrounded but unharmed. Humanity was making a point. Power was not about destruction. It was about choice. And humanity always chose when to end a war. The surrender came quietly. The Carvel Dominion transmitted a full and unconditional surrender to Earth. Their message was sent not only to humanity, but to every major power in the galaxy. It was clear. The war was over. Human fleets did not cheer. They moved with calm purpose, guiding disabled Dominion ships away from Earth's system. Repairs were allowed. Medical aid was given. No revenge followed. This confused the galaxy. Observers expected punishment. They expected destruction. That was how power had always worked. Humanity chose something different. A human message was broadcast across every known star network. It was short, simple, and impossible to ignore. Do not call for help against humanity. You will only make it worse. The message spread faster than fear. Galactic councils gathered in panic. Military doctrines were rewritten. Invasions were paused. Some wars ended overnight. The galaxy realized that humanity did not fight like others. They ended wars before they began. The Dominion was not destroyed. Instead, strict borders were placed around their space. Human monitoring stations appeared at key systems. Trade was limited. Military movement was watched. The Dominion, once feared, became quiet. On Earth, life continued as normal. Cities were not destroyed. People went to work. Children went to school. Humanity did not celebrate victory because they had planned for it long ago. Other species began to ask questions. Why did humans hide their strength? Why did they wait? The answer was simple. Humanity had learned that showing power too early invited endless war. So they waited. They watched the galaxy repeat the same mistakes. Until Earth was threatened. From that moment on, humanity was no longer a rumor. They were rule. New explorers marked human space with warning symbols. Ancient conquerors avoided human borders. Young species saw Earth not as a threat but as protection. And when smaller worlds were attacked, human ships appeared without warning. No speeches. No demands. Only results. The galaxy learned a final truth. Humanity was not the strongest species. Humanity was the most prepared. They did not summon backup. They were the backup. And from that day forward, the galaxy remembered one lesson above all others. When humanity arrives, the war is already over.